What if you had a simple formula to find your exact debt-free date? Well, that's exactly what we're going to give you in this explainer. Seriously, what if you could predict your exact debt-free date in just 3 minutes? No complicated spreadsheets and absolutely no more guessing. That's the whole goal here, to turn debt from this huge source of stress into a simple, solvable calendar problem. This is all about turning that vague dream of being debt-free into a specific concrete date you can actually circle on your calendar. So, here's the crucial point, the big reframe. Debt isn't some kind of moral failing. It is a timeline problem. That's it. And once you see it this way, trust me, everything changes. You stop fighting a feeling and you start solving an equation. You know, the reason debt feels so completely endless is because most of us don't have a finish line. And when there's no finish line, there's no motivation, right? That leads to making these random, inconsistent payments, which of course leads to painfully slow progress. So your goal, it isn't just to pay debt. Your real goal is to buy a debt-free date. So how does it work? How do we figure this out? Let's get right into the simple formula. Okay, I need you to do this with me. Go ahead, grab a piece of paper, or just open a notes app on your phone. All you need are 3 numbers. First, your total debt. Let's call that D. Second, the total of all your minimum monthly payments all added up. That's M. And third, any extra amount you can realistically, consistently pay each month, and we'll call that E. Now, we combine these numbers to get the single most important metric in this whole process, your attack payment, or A. It's simply your minimums plus your extra. This is the total war chest you're sending to your debt each month. If you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, please make it your attack payment. And here it is, the formula that gets you about 90% of the way there. To find the number of months until you're debt-free, you just divide your total debt, D, by your monthly attack payment, A. So for example, if you have $12,000 in debt and your attack payment is $500 a month, your baseline timeline is 24 months. It's that simple. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what about interest? Don't worry, we're going to handle that right now. Okay, we've got our clean estimate. Now let's turn that into a truthful, realistic window. No more lying to ourselves. So instead of one single fragile number, we create a range, a best case, a likely case, and a worst case. Using our 24-month example, the likely case might be around 28 months, and the worst case may be 33. What this does is it gives you a truthful window to work with, not some fake promise that shatters the very first time life happens. So how do you find your range? Well, your best case is that simple baseline number we just calculated. For your likely case, just add about 10 to 20% more time. This accounts for average interest rates and, unexpected expenses. For your worst case, especially if you have high interest debt like credit cards, add 25 to 40%. This creates a real, honest forecast for you to work with. And now for the part that really makes this all click. This is how you actively take control of the timeline. Let's go back to our example. With that same $12,000 debt, paying $500 a month gets you that 24-month baseline. But look what happens. Just look. If you can find an extra $100 to make your attack payment $600, your new timeline is just 20 months. That's 4 months of your life that you just bought back. See, this isn't just about money. It's about reclaiming your time. Every extra $100 you can find and throw at your debt buys back a piece of your future, and it buys it back faster. Now, to really make this work, you have to avoid one super common mistake. Let's look at the engine that truly drives this timeline forward. So many people take their extra money and they just kind of sprinkle it across all their different debts. Please do not do that. The strategy that makes this timeline real is to pay the minimum on everything, but then take your entire extra payment, your whole E, and focus it like a laser on one single target debt. This creates early wins, these debt roll-offs that build incredible momentum and make the whole plan work. So there you have it. You have the formula, you've got the range, and you have the strategy. Now it's time to make it official. Okay, here's your final step. Take your likely case number of months. Let's say it's 28. Now, I want you to pull out a calendar and count forward 28 months from today. Circle that date, write it down somewhere you will see it every single day, and then give it a name, My Freedom Date. This is what makes it real. You no longer have to guess or hope. You now have a clear, simple formula to buy back your time. So the only question left is, How many months will you buy?